Oh there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here today to do a show for Tuesday night, which is called Ranking the Songs. So this show comes every second week. We alternate with album sides. So album sides went last week, so this week we're going with ranking the songs, and the album I've chosen for this week is Dark Side of the Moon and the 10 tracks that are available on it. So the one thing about Pink Floyd, so there's a couple things here about this particular album, a little bit of a story here. So this album I found at a yard sale, I think it was 98 or 99, might have been 2000, I'm not sure. Anyways, at that point I had completely forgot about Pink Floyd. They were off my agenda to list. So I saw this for $1, so I thought, yeah, I've heard it's a great album. I'll take it home and maybe it'll change for me. And absolutely it did. It's now a masterpiece album. But I had issues with Pink Floyd. I always thought they were, because I went based on The Wall primarily. That was the album I didn't like. And to me, it was just a bunch of racket and noises that didn't really coalesce into anything musical. But I've since changed my tune 180 degrees, obviously, or I wouldn't be here doing this right now. The tough part about this particular album, though, is that it's a storyline that starts and goes through and weaves its way through, and every song and every noise that you hear ties it to the next part in the song. That's my thing. It's a masterpiece album. Maybe one of the 2 or 3 or 4 perfect albums in history. Close to the Edge comes to mind. There might be a few others that I'm not thinking of right off the bat, but those are 2 of the albums. But this one here, absolutely a killer album. So normally what I do when I rank the songs is I take all 10 tracks on here and I rank them according to how I like them, from least to best, or from 10th to first, or from worst to first. But in this case, there's no worst or least. They're all great. Generally how I do this too is that I will listen to the album, and while I'm listening to it, I gave that song a ranking number from 1 to 100. Everything on this was a 7 or up, 70 up. One song, the opening track, was a below that, only because it's not really a song, it's just a tie-in to the next song, the heartbeat that opens the track, which is called Speak to Me. And maybe one of the most well-known openings to any album. People hear that, right away they know what's coming. It's one of the most recognizable things in rock history, that heartbeat at the beginning of that album. So that for me is number 10. Number 9, On the Run, kind of ties part 2 to part 4. It weaves its way. It allows part 2 to come to an end. It exits into this flow, which then brings it into part 4. Great tie. It's one of the greatest ties in history, I think. And that's On the Run. The next one up is called The Great Gig in the Sky. This is number 8 for me. The one with all of the great female operatic voice parts, with that piano in the background. So absolutely killer. Sorry, my shirt is trying to run up my belly here. The next track up is Any Color You Like. Another really great track that kind of brings the beginning of the number 7 track, bringing it down so you get into the number 9 track. Just such another great tie, fantastic song. Number 6 is the Brain Damage. Second last track on the album, really great. Lots of that laughing and stuff. It's just hilarious. I love it. Absolutely killer track. The next track up, coming into number 5, is the big kind of single on the album, which opens up with all the cash registers and noises, called Money. It's menacing in some ways, very upbeat. The vocals are great. The bass line is fantastic. All of this stuff. And Pink Floyd didn't put out that many singles, but this is probably the best of those singles, I think. And so there, number 5 is Money. Number 4, Breathe, which is the track in the middle between Speak and On the Run. Breathe is so catchy. That poor rabbit. Yeah. Anyways, it's just such a catchy tune. Love to hear it. It goes from taking that heartbeat and turning it into this vocalized song, which then ends up with it going into On the Run, which, you know, leads to the number 4 track. So up next is Eclipse. The top 3 are my favorite easily. Eclipse, I really like this. It's the last track on the album, taking the album out. So good, so heavy, so melodic in every way. A fantastic tune. Then we have the number 2 track, which always reminds me of Comfortably Numb on Pink Floyd. It's almost like you've been shot full of morphine and you're drifting in a void and you're just like, nothing's going to bother you. And we're talking about Us and Them. You know, such a, well, an acid rock song, if you must know. But great tune. And then number 1 was going to be number 1 no matter what. It was a 99 I gave it. I don't give hundreds, but if I was going to give 100, this would be one of the songs that would probably get it. So this song is fantastic. Again, the use of noises like those clocks at the beginning to open it. David Gilmour's absolutely fantastic vocal performance on this. Killer. I love it. I love the sound of his voice. So emotional. His guitar adding to that. His guitar, this is one of the most underrated, well, I wouldn't say it's underrated, one of the greatest guitar solos, melodic guitar solos of all time. So emotional. To go with those vocals, just makes it one of the most emotional songs. And then you have that absolutely killer heavy part that goes on in this song. Just, one of the great progressive rock songs of all time. One of the greatest songs of all times, I think. So Time is number 1. It was always going to be number 1. It's always been one of my favorite Floyd, if not my favorite Floyd song. So there you have it. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Legendary in its status. I know difficult to separate these songs because it's such a flow and one leads into another. But for the purpose of ranking this album, I had to do it this way. So Time's number 1, Us and Them number 2, Eclipse number 3, Breathe in the Air number 4, Money number 5, Brain Damage number 6, Any Color You Like number 7, Great Gig in the Sky number 8, On the Run number 9, and Speak to Me at the end number 10, but definitely not lesser than all the other stuff. And the thing with all these songs is you can't really take one part out without destroying the whole album. So it's fantastic. I love it. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of ranking the songs on a Tuesday. So next week we'll be back to the album sides. I have a couple of in mind. Not sure which ones I'm going to do. So I hope you'll show up to find out which ones. Please hit the like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Any comments about this or Pink Floyd or the album or my rankings or anything, you can put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're up to speed on what's going on, and we will see you next week on Album Sides. Take care. Bye.